Hey guys, so finally got a chance to see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot. Um, gonna be some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, um, go watch it. Go watch it. Go ahead, or turn the video off and then go watch it and then come back. I'll give you a minute to figure out what you're doing. So you go ahead. Still here? Or are you back? Either way, here we go. So, um, felt very much like a Joss Whedon show, which is good. Had the humor, had Shepherd Book from Firefly and Gunn from Angel, so it felt very much like a Joss Whedon show. Um, some of the humor felt forced. Some of it seemed like it was trying to be a Joss Whedon show. There were some it flowed weird. Like parts of it felt like a Joss Whedon show, and others felt like somebody emulating Joss Whedon. So whether that was because of the parts that were more heavily influenced by him, and then the parts where he was off doing stuff for Avengers, or what, I don't know. And of course, I mean Age of Ultron, because that's what he's working on now. Um, yeah, but there were elements of it that, like the hangar in the big the bus that Melinda May is driving, um, the big Shield plane. Um, I might have been alone in this. Probably was. Probably crazy. But it felt very much like the hangar of the Serenity, the cargo bay of Serenity in Firefly. Felt very much like that. Um, and I was sitting there thinking, no, no, that couldn't have been, that couldn't have been intentional or anything. I'm sure that's just maybe that's just me. And then Shepherd Book walks out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Um, of course, he's not Shepherd Book. His name is Ron Glass. But but yeah, so that was very nice. And how nice was it to see Ron Glass? How nice was it to see J. August Richards from Angel in another Joss Whedon program? That's good. That's good. I like that. And it's sticking with the Joss Whedon thing of Whedon likes to reuse his actors. He likes to bring actors back and put them in different roles and stuff, which is good. And works as a filmmaker as well, because you're able to show the range of your actors that way by tossing them in different roles. But the other part of that is when I saw J. August Richards, my first instinct was to go Gunn, it's Gunn. Um, by the way, Book and Gunn would be a great show. Not sure how they would work out the whole universe aspect of it. How are they going to have Book and from Firefly and Gunn from Angel actually in the same universe? I'm not exactly sure how they work that out, but they should, because I would watch the hell out of that show. Um, I liked the original characters that they have in it. I liked Sky, which from the promos I didn't think I was going to like her very much, but I really, really dug her. I like Fitz and Simmons. Love Melinda May. I would say that Melinda May and Coulson are probably my two favorite areas of the cast. I would say that those two are going to be my main reasons for continuing to watch the show. Are going to be Coulson and Melinda May. Coulson being back is great. I love that there's sort of an air of mystery as to why he's back. A while back, I called that. I said I called it, but it's. I surmised that theorized that perhaps the Coulson in Agents of the Shield is actually an LMD, a life model decoy. Friend of mine on Tumblr took it a step further and said, well, what if the Coulson that died in the Avengers is the LMD? Blew my fucking mind, because I never even thought of that. And there's going to be some people who are going to see the scene in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot where he says that him and Maria Hill both say that they faked his death. Fury faked his death and lied about it to the Avengers in order to get them to do what he wants them to do. There's going to be people who see that scene and are upset by it. Don't be. Fury would fucking do that. That's something Fury would do. But it makes even more sense if Fury did that with a life model decoy and was not actually placing Coulson in danger in the first place. That would make even more sense. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic idea. I don't think it's going to work out that way, though. It seems as though the Coulson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not the same Coulson from Avengers. Maybe it will be. Maybe that's the big secret that they're keeping from him. Who knows? But we'll see, I guess. There's the scene where he's talks about Tahiti, how great Tahiti was, and then he walks away. And Shepherd Book, I didn't actually catch his character name in this, but Shepherd Book says, Tahiti. He doesn't know, does he? And Maria Hill goes, he must never know. And then the music swells, and it's a very dramatic moment, very mysterious. That leads me to think that maybe this Coulson is the LMD, which is kind of sad because that means that the real Coulson is in fact dead. But it's going to be fun to see how they play with that and how they make the big reveal as to whatever he is. Maybe he's not an LMD. Maybe he's some sort of mystical thing. Maybe they brought him back through some sort of mystical means that maybe he wouldn't necessarily appreciate or approve of. And so that's why he must never know how he came back. He wasn't really in Tahiti. If they did do the mystical aspect of it, they could work in a Doctor Strange reference. They could bring the Good Doctor in even, and that would make me extremely happy. But that's probably not going to happen. So I have to live with that. I'm just dying to see Doctor Strange on screen. Okay, stop it. The elements of it that really got me, that I liked, that I didn't think I was going to like, were the elements where they tried to fit it into the greater cinematic universe. The mentioning of the Extremis virus was brilliant. The fact that Mike, the hooded hero, has the Extremis virus, and that becomes like the big sort of dramatic climax of the episode, is them trying to calm him down and trying to get him to not explode from the Extremis virus. Having that be a key point of the premiere episode that premieres on the same day as Iron Man 3 is released on Blu-ray. Brilliant. For those of you who haven't seen Iron Man 3, I'm sorry if I just spoiled something for you. Here comes another one. Extremis. Huge in Iron Man 3. Big, huge, massive plot point in Iron Man 3. Including the explosion element of it, where someone just, gets pissed off and poof, turns into a fucking walking nuclear bomb. That connection, great work. Talking about the super soldier serum, the gamma radiation that turned Bruce Banner into the Hulk. My favorite, hands down, is the continuous mentioning of Agent Romanoff being, of course, Black Widow. Not just name-checking her, but using her as a standard by which all of the other agents are judged is brilliant. It does the character right. Or does right by the character. It made me happy as a fan of the Black Widow. It made me very happy to see that they weren't mistreating her, that they were actually saying, she's almost as good as Romanoff, or his stats on his chart are, even surpassed Romanoff almost. That sort of thing made me really happy to see. So I was really happy to see that. Things that I did not like were, most of them were just the fact that it's a pilot. A lot of the rough areas of the episode were mainly due to it being a pilot episode of something. So those will clear up by like episode 5 or whatever. Once the show hits its stride, those issues will be cleared up, and I think it'll run a lot smoother. It'll be a much smoother show, I think, by then. I think they'll work everything out by then. I'm confident that they're going to work everything out by episode 4 or 5. The things that seemed weird to me, that are not necessarily pilot issues. Was that the music, for some reason, and maybe it's just me, but for some reason in certain areas the music felt weird, like it didn't belong in the scene that it was playing in. Um, Took me out of it a little bit. Some areas of it, talking about the flow of the show, some of it feels like um, some of it feels very much like a Joss Whedon show, and some of it feels like it's emulating a Joss Whedon show. So there are elements. My phone's going off. There are elements, um, certain portions of the episode where it felt very much like a Joss Whedon show, and other portions where it felt like someone trying to be a Joss Whedon show. And in those areas, those are some of the things where I feel like it's going to run smoother later on. I think they're going to figure out how to sort of can interconnect everything. Because in the past, you have to remember, Joss Whedon, the shows that he worked on in the past, those were pretty much it for him at those periods of time. Buffy, Angel, Firefly, Dollhouse, all of those things were his main focus of creativity. And now, you know, I'm not saying he's not involved heavily with the show because he is. His name's on it, but he's Mr. Marvel movie guy. I mean, he's Avengers: Age of Ultron right now. He's helping the rewrites with Thor 2 allegedly. He's all over the place. So his plate is fucking full. So I totally get the fact that he cannot be as involved with this show as he has been with many of the other shows that he started in the past. Totally makes sense. So yeah, so they just need to figure out how to make it a little less seamless, which, like I said, that's primarily a pilot issue. I'm sure they're going to clear that up by later on in the show. I have a strong feeling that once this show hits, like I said, 5, 6 episodes in, I think people are going to be looking back at those 5, 6 episodes and going, mapping where, the ups and downs and where it came to where it was. Because I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 episodes in, it's going to be a really tightly run thing. It's going to be a well-oiled machine of a show. If they keep going the path that they're going and they tweak the things that need to be tweaked, it's going to be fucking great. It's one of those things where you see the pilot and you're like, the pilot is good, but it has the potential to be great later on down the line. And this is definitely one of those shows. So if you haven't seen it yet, why the hell did you watch this video all the way through to now? Why didn't you stop this video back when I told you to? That was kind of stupid, honestly, because now I've just spoiled a bunch of shit for you. If you have seen it and you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, or whatever, leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know. Were you planning on continuing to watch it? Are you planning on giving up? Was the pilot too much? Too little? Did it disappoint you in some ways? Let me know. Always up for a discussion. So, yeah, overall, I would say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., very well done. I look forward to seeing the rest of the season. So, thanks, guys.